for this matchup between the 3-5 Syracuse Orange and a 4-4 Louisville Cardinals. Ryan Norton will kick it away as Syracuse won the toss, elected to defer, so the Cardinals will get it to start the game. This one's going to bounce into the end zone. ACC football is brought to you in HD by your local Tire Pros dealer. Win a VIP trip for 2 to the ACC Championship and Continental Tires at TireProsSweepstakes.com. That ACC Championship game at Bank of America Stadium on December 5th for the 6th time in the 11th overall ACC title game. Work to do before we get to December 5th, and we look at Kyle Bolin, number 14, the sophomore from Lexington, Kentucky, at the controls for the Louisville Cardinals. Over the right side and up beyond the 30-yard line, Jeremy Smith with the carry for Louisville. We take a look at our Food Lion impact players when the Cardinals have the ball.
Jamari Staples here, when he's healthy, as you've seen last week, he can make the big play. Very rangy, 10 receptions last week, a high, along with 133 yards to go for it. Also, when you look at the offensive line, Tobijah Hughley, this guy right here would be making all the line calls. He's more of the guy that will be able to settle down that youth up front, and they need to be able to allow Bolin to make some big plays, as you see right here down the field.
That is L.J. Scott down the sideline, and Scott barrels his way inside the 20. Cordell Hudson knocked him out of bounds, but that youthful offensive line gave Bolin time to operate in the pocket.
Well, we just talked about being able to give this quarterback, if he can set his feet, he can make any throw downfield. Right here, a check down play to the running back, Scott, and he shows up and makes a big one. As you can see, Bolin celebrating. He loves it.
Kyle Bolin, who is completing 57% of his passes this season, came in relief in the second week against Houston of Lamar Jackson. The Cardinals came up short in that loss to the Cougars in the second game of the season. We do have a Syracuse player shaken up on that long play for Louisville. That was a 52-yard pickup for Louisville. We take a look at the Food Line impact players for the Syracuse Orange defensively, Ronaldo.
Well, up front defensively, the defensive end, Ron Thompson here, played defensive tackle last week, but has found at home 7.5 tackles for losses, 6 sacks, 4th in the ACC. He's a guy that can flat get after the quarterback, and they're going to need him to do that today. Then also, when you look at the other side there behind him, the quarterback of this defense, Zaire Franklin, a vocal leader, leads the team in tackles, 52 tackles, also gets in the backfield with 7 tackles for losses, 3 sacks. He's a guy that's going to be an inspiration for this defense, and he's going to have these guys settle down even with the big play.
Chauncey Sissom was the shaken-up Syracuse player. It is now 1st and 10 for the 15, right up the middle. That's Jeremy Smith, and he's dancing his way, dragging the pile inside the 5 for the Cardinals.
Well, right here, just an easy play right up the middle. This is what Coach Petrino, he talked about. To be able to have those big plays down the field, you got to be able to run the ball between the tackles here on this play action draw play right here. Sucks the defense back. Right here up front, we talked about the offensive line there and the physicality there going up the middle.
10 yards on the pickup, and now 1st and goal for the Louisville Cardinals. Just inside that 5-yard line. Toward the goal line and powering in for the score. Jeremy Smith, what a drive for the Cards at number 34.
You gotta love it, Jeremy Smith. He said, Coach, give me the ball. And the way he's running, you don't mind giving the football to a guy like this that's running the ball. But let's get to this blocking here. Right up front here, you have the tackle counter play right here. These guys, as we talked about, it's gonna be key up front, a young offensive line to be able to allow these run gaps, like Jeremy Smith, to get the touchdown.
3rd TD of the season for Jeremy Smith. It only took a minute and 41 seconds, and the Cardinals striking first. Although he had 20.5 sacks, that's a school record. Number 58 will be there forever here at Papa John's Cardinal Stadium.
Yeah, Tom. Elvis is in the building, and this is a guy that gave problems for all offensive opponents. He was a guy that was always on the field, played every down, and they wondered, could he do the same thing in the NFL? Well, he certainly has, and he has been wreaking havoc in the NFL with the Baltimore Ravens.
Steam and Morris are the deep men. This is going to be a Steam crossing the 10. Jimmy shakes his way across the 20. And we go down to the sidelines with Nicky Noto and Elvis. Go ahead, Nicky.
Elvis, I think they've renamed the Ville today. Elvis Doomerville, if you will. Your honor, I mean, your number is up there in some great company. How are you feeling right now in this moment being honored today?
Man, it feels surreal. It's awesome. Like you said, it's great company up there. So I'm honored, man. I'm grateful. Thank Tom, thank Petrino and the whole fans of Louisville, the city of Louisville. So it's been great.
Yeah, you were here in Petrino's first stint. He's back. The defense is back. They're looking good. What are your thoughts on the defense out there right now?
Man, I always say a good offense makes a good defense, and I know Petrino's the right guy for the offense, and I'm sure this guy will go out and make plays.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Elvis, and congrats again.
Thank you so much.
Tom?
The number 58 will be here in the stadium to honor that guy right there. What a moment. The Orange now for their first possession. Scott Schaefer is the third-year head coach for the Orange, 4 years prior as the defensive coordinator. He's 13-20 in his career, and 0-1 against Louisville, losing last year at the Carrier Dome. Trouble for Dungy, and he goes down. Just had nowhere to run, and Sheldon Rankins forced him to the ground. Take a look at our food line. Impact players for the Syracuse Orange.
Well, you look at the impact of the players here. Jordan Fredericks here, a true freshman, leads the team, 5.4 yards per carry. He is a guy that is also a physical runner. And then you look at Rob Trudeau here, a team captain, is the elder statesman, 40 starts under his belt. He's the guy that's going to be making a lot of the line calls there for that offensive line.
Third and long for the Orange, 38% on third down in the season, 9th in the conference, and they're going to come up short here. Josh Parrish made the catch but didn't go very far as Tremaine Washington came up to meet him. Fourth down for Syracuse.
Well, you look at the rush and coverage works together. This is what Coach Gathering talks about in being able to cover and rush the quarterback. You saw those guys get after the quarterback, and now with the coverage there, they do an awesome job. They're going to make sure you check down, and then we're going to tackle you, and you are not going to get the first down.
Riley Dixon, the all-conference punter from a season ago for the Orange, has to kick it away on their first possession. Alfonso Carter, the deep man, wants his teammates to get away from it. Takes a sideways bounce, checks up a little bit, and the Cuse will down it at the 43-yard line. What a great drive for Louisville to start the game. In fact, it's only the second time they've scored. She's 23 yards. And the touchdown to complete the drive for the Cards. He's back in the game. Bolin with the time. Incomplete over the middle at midfield.
Well, right here, they're releasing at least 4 receivers, 2 tight ends in there. And, you know, again, we talked about Bolin being able to have the time. He had the time there, but the receiver, Smith, was not ready for the football.
Garrick McGee, the second-year offensive coordinator, down on the sideline for the Cardinals. Former head coach at UAB and offensive coordinator at Arkansas, sending the play in to Kyle Bolin. 6'2", 208 pounds, and a sophomore from Lexington, Kentucky. They want to put it up again. Over the middle, and mishandled and dropped. Pass a little bit behind James Quick. That's going to bring up third down for the Bill.
Well, right here, you know, the ball hits you in the hands right here. Again, Bolin has the time. Just a quick throw and pitch right here. He's got to be able to catch that. And he's had some drops throughout the year that has cost his team. And this is what Coach Petrino and Garrick McGee has talked about, being able to take advantage of those opportunities and being able to move those chains.
Quick had a great game at Florida State this year. 5 catches and 130 yards and 3 TDs. He set a career high for a single game. Bolin uncorks it. That one is intercepted. Cordell Hudson back to midfield for the Orange and out of bounds close to the 45-yard line. All white uniforms, the orange and blue accent. Dungy lofts it up down toward the 15 and caught near the 10. Grizzly Esteem, what a grab and what a throw. Shaq Wiggins was back there defensively for Louisville.
Well, right here, Grizzly Esteem, just a one-on-one route right here. But again, I got to give credit where credit's due. Great throw, which we talked about with Dungy being able to lob it up there. But a one-handed catch by Grizzly does an awesome job, which is uncharacteristic for this Louisville defense. They usually don't give up these type of plays.
Esteem has a catch in every game this season for the junior from Delray Beach, Florida. Trying to spread it wide. Phillips. He's in for the touchdown for Syracuse. Just 2 plays after the interception, and they're an extra point away from tying this game.
Well, right here, Irvin Phillips right here does a great job, and the more of an athletic back. He plays in the hybrid position, Tom. That's a guy that really has got to be athletic, and right here they're going to give him the ball in all types of ways, and he stretches it out, allows his offensive guys to be able to make blocks up front to get into the end zone.
His first rushing touchdown of the season. And now Cole Murphy for the extra point. Syracuse just 2 plays and 46 yards in 36 seconds. After the INT, it is Phillips to the house for the Orange. So we're tied at 7. Lamb. 20. Up to the 23. We dissect the interception by Cordell Hudson. It was his first of the season against Bolin.
Yeah, Cordell Hudson here, right here, just a one-man route right here, a corner route right here. But Cordell Hudson, I'm very impressed with the redshirt freshman here. He sees the guy come off the ball, but then all the time he has his eyes on the quarterback, undercuts the route, and makes a great play. That's a defining moment for that last series for the Orange.
Phillips finished it off with a 10-yard TD run, his first rushing touchdown of the season. Louisville with the football to Smith. Not a whole lot there, maybe negative yardage for Jeremy Smith. Appears that the Syracuse Orange defense has been energized by that interception by Cordell Hudson. No gain on the play.
Well, they have a lot to play for. When you have a guy be able to make plays, it is just electrifying, and it's contagious. It goes throughout your entire defense here, and as you can see, the defensive guys up front, they're feeding off of it. As you can see, Chris Slayton there, a redshirt freshman, making the tackle.
2nd and 10 for Louisville, and that's Bolin back in the shotgun. Coming to the near side end complete. Jalen Smith is 87. He's out of bounds, shy of the 35-yard line.
Well, as you look at Bolin, you know, early in the game, I mean, here's a guy that needs to get in the rhythm early. As you can see, Coach Petrino, even though they came out with the run, they need to be able to get him in rhythm, and making short passes like this to his receiver. As you can see, Jalen Smith does a great job in getting this young quarterback in the rhythm.
6th-year head coach Bobby Petrino, 54-17. He's got the most wins in school history. Set the record in his first go-around as the head coach here in 06 with 12 wins in a season. Go up the middle, and the ball carrier forced straight back to the 30-yard line. It's going to be L.J. Scott.
L.J. Scott right here. I think everyone in the stadium knew it was going to be run 2 tight ends here. Got a fullback in the middle right there, but who is it? Number 13 there. Does a great job in being able to stop the play there.
Ron Thompson, one of the top players defensively in all the ACC, and now 4th and 1. So Joshua Appleby is going to have to come in for Louisville and run it away.
Well, as you can see, Garrett McGee over there a little bit upset. He's wondering, should his quarterback have made a check play? You know, they're going to be able to stack the box there for the Orangemen there, as you can see, and Thompson making a big play.
The steam won't go anywhere. Taken down on special teams. Zeke Cannon,
and particularly the offensive line, which Garrett McGee talked about.
Syracuse with the football from its own 20-yard line. 1st and 10. Phillips. Short gain up the middle. Check out that Louisville D, and it's Food Lion Impact Players, and we start with Sheldon Rankins.
Yeah, Sheldon Rankins, the big fella, and this is a guy that's always consistent. Not a vocal guy, but the coach says he leads by example. Very consistent, as you can see, 37 tackles. Also 7.5 tackles for loss. But on the other hand, Keith Kelsey is a vocal guy, and he's the leader of tackles there with 68.
Kelsey also has 9.5 tackles for loss. That's the best this season for the Cards. Now that play went for first down yardage, but there is a flag after Fredericks hits the turf. Sheldon Rankins chasing him down. Again, there is a penalty marker. Here's Ron Cherry.
Offside. Defense to the 44. Penalties decline. The result of the play is first down.
Yeah, these defensive linemen here, they have to be able to watch the ball. No excuse for this. You know, the penalties will shoot you in the foot every time, but these are defensive ends that like to get after the quarterback. And you know that Coach Schaefer knows that for the Orange, that you need to go ahead and sometimes slow them down with a hard count.
8 yards for Phillips on that play, producing the first down, declining the penalty, and Syracuse will go with the shotgun, and Eric Dungey, the freshman quarterback from Lake Oswego, Oregon, he's going to take off. Sidesteps one man and slides down safely at about the 34-yard line for Dungey.
Well, Eric Dungey, he loves to run the football, and this is a design play, draw play for the quarterback. You're going to see those quite a bit. Coach Schaefer talked about being able to draw up plays. Coach Lester as the offensive coordinator, specifically for him to be able to make these type of plays, and these sometimes big plays when he runs with his feet.
The Orange losing last Saturday at number 15 Florida State 45-21. Dungey in that game ran for a couple of TDs. Now Phillips, congestion at the line of scrimmage. Most of it big number 55. It's Keith Kelsey, the junior. Nothing on the run. 3rd and 8. And Louisville defense solid in this situation, presented with a 3rd and 8 from the Orange. From its own 33-yard line. Dungey feels the pressure, spins away, and that is caught by Phillips. He's into Louisville territory with a first down and close to the 42.
Well, this is why Dungey, he is the guy. He's an escape artist. When he feels the pressure, he's able to make sometimes his best throws when he's on the move here, and he finds his receiver there down the field. Actually, 2 guys. One guy gets knocked off there, but he finds 2 guys there, being able to make the big play there for Phillips.
Josh Harris was also in the vicinity. 22 yards of the previous play. Now George Morris the second, as we check in with Nicky Noto.
Yeah, Tom, you know, it was funny when I was talking to Coach Schaefer, which, you know, we covered him at Virginia when he leaped into the end zone. He's an athletic quarterback. He loves having the ball in his hands. Coach Schaefer said that they keep having to work with him to get rid of the ball. And ultimately, he said he's just fearless. And even though he wants to take those hits, Coach Schaefer says, I want you for the rest of the season, Tom.
He is the future at that position for the Orange. We saw him get acrobatic against Virginia, leaping over a defender in that triple overtime loss just a few weeks ago for the Orange. That was one of the many incredible finishes that we have seen in the ACC this season. It has been really unbelievable, is an overused word, but what we saw last week with the Miami return.
Right.
Duke winning in triple overtime at Virginia Tech. Quadruple overtime, pardon me. Triple overtime for Syracuse, and then what Georgia Tech did against Florida State. It has been a remarkable season in the ACC. We're back to 3rd down for the Orange. 3rd and 6 from the 41. Converted on the last one, pass to Phillips. There's a flag down before the play can develop.
All-star offense. Number 8. It's a 5-yard penalty.
Well, we talked about both teams really having a lot of young guys here. And again, these penalties, which uncharacteristic for Syracuse, they are the least penalized team. I think they're 2nd in the ACC as far as not being able to have penalties. So I know Coach Schaefer is not happy about that.
Yeah, they came into the game with just 36 penalties, but this one pushes them back. 3rd and 11. 8th start of the year for the freshman Eric Dungey. Trying to get away. He does so. Slippery and sliding. Can he get to the first down marker? It is going to be real close at the 35 as Washington sent him in to his slide.
You know, every time he runs the football, he is just exciting, entertaining. And you know that he's going to make a big play. They even brought a tight end motion there for extra protection. Of course, the Louisville defensive line, they're going to put pressure on you. But again, I'm surprised Louisville hadn't put a spy in there against this dual threat as a quarterback.
Another marker out. Again, Ron Cherry is our referee. Did we get a timeout called?
Timeout. Louisville was challenging the spot on the previous one. Timeout.
So it was ruled a first down after that slide by Eric Dungey, who, by the way, is 3 for 3 through the air and 61 yards so far. And that makes him third all-time at Syracuse for freshman passing behind guys like Donovan McNabb and Marvin Graves. But once again, the challenge is on the slide. Now, great moves to get away from that Louisville pressure. He needs the 35. They're challenging the spot on the field. Rule the first down.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see where they make the spot, because when you slide feet first, it's always where the ball is right there. So where his knee is. But I think he gets the first down there. It's going to be close.
So ultimately it will be it's going to be fourth down. So the Cardinals win the challenge, the call reversed, and now Syracuse 4th and 1, and they're going. Dungey trying to sneak it. And it looks like Dungey got a couple of yards forging forward for that first down.
Well, Coach Lester, the offensive coordinator, wherever he is on the field, when he has these opportunities and it's short, he believes in his guys up front. Even though they're young, he does a great job. But Dungey does a great job to be able to find the hole back in up there and making it. Fourth down conversions have been great for Syracuse offense. 8 of 11, 73% on fourth down conversions.
Third best in the conference on fourth down for Syracuse. They keep it going. Fredericks runs into Keith Kelsey, the leading tackler for this Louisville defense. Junior from Gainesville, Florida. 15 tackles against Houston in week 2, a career high for him.
Yeah, he is a tackling machine here. Kelsey is. Junior just is all over the field. You'll never find this guy out of position, and is a great tackler.
Second and 8, closing in on 2 minutes to go in an eventful first quarter from Louisville. Fredericks. He seeks the 25-yard line. Chucky Williams is there to meet him. Jordan Fredericks, freshman from Inwood, New York.
With Jordan Fredericks here, and this opens up because of the read option play for the quarterback. You're so afraid of being able to contain Eric Dungey that it opens it up on the inside. But here we are, another third down here, another opportunity as they're trying to knock on the door in the red zone.
Syracuse just converted a fourth down a moment ago. Now 3rd and 1 after the 6-yard run by Fredericks. Dungey. That's a designed quarterback run, and he stumbles inside the 20 for the first down for the Orange.
These offensive linemen, they love blocking for this young quarterback, Dungey here. And he's a guy, again, that can orchestrate a lot when he starts to run the football. I think he was going to keep it all the way here, and why wouldn't you? He's had so much success every time he runs the football.
How about the Orange in the red zone this season, Ronaldo? 93%. They're 25 of 27. Dungey is perfect through the air so far, and 18 yards rushing. At 93% tops in the conference, 10th in the nation. Phillips trying to dance his way for a very short game.
Number 27.
Yeah,
Jermaine Reeve on the tackle.
Yeah, just a great fill in the hole right here. Great tackling football team, but right here, Jermaine Reeve does a great job being able to stop the Orange in their tracks.
Reeve, one of the seniors on that defense from Miami, Florida. Defensive coordinator Todd Grantham in his second year. Was at Georgia for 4 years. spent 11 seasons in the NFL. Dungy with 20 yards rushing on this drive alone. 2nd and 9. Quick pass, and that is off of the hands of Phillips.
Yeah, Phillips he's got to catch this one. I mean, just a quick slant from the inside. Again, when he plays that hybrid position, so he can do it all. He's listed kind of a running back, but they will line Phillips up all over the field. But again, a missed opportunity play. He's got to catch those.
Another 3rd down. 15th play of this drive for the Orange. Started all the way back at their own 20 from the 19 of Louisville. And now 3rd and 9 in the closing seconds of the first period. Dungy still has it. Throws near the 5 and incomplete. Looking for a steam. Josh Harvey Clemens back there defensively for the Cards.
Yeah, right here again, you know, being able to extend the play here, a call play out here to the offensive right here, just couldn't get it enough to be able to hit the ground, but a good try at that to be able to give his Orange an opportunity to score maybe on a field goal.
Josh Harvey Clemens Jr. from Valdosta, Georgia, has a couple of INTs this season. Now it's Cole Murphy. 36-yard attempt. He's 10 of 14 on the season. Make him 11 of 15. And the Orange taking its first lead of the afternoon. 10-7 on the field goal from against Pittsburgh. I know Ronaldo keeping an eye on that one too, as the former great defensive end for the Notre Dame Fighting Irish back in the mid-90s. We get whistles and flags prior to the start of this Louisville possession.
Stop infraction. Offense, number 61. It's a 5-yard penalty. First down.
Well, Tabijah right here, Hughley, you know, again, as a senior, he doesn't usually make those type of penalties. He's the guy that usually makes the calls for the other guys, but you got to do your job first.
Once again, if you're just joining us, Kyle Boland getting his 2nd start of the season. Also started against Clemson in the 3rd game of the year because Lamar Jackson has an injured right ankle over the middle and complete in traffic. Now the ball comes loose. Does Syracuse have it? They grab it inside the 20 and down close to the 7-yard line. Syracuse picked up that football. Davian Ellison, number 19, with a 22-yard return.
Well, what do you think? Because these guys here, they are playing motivated, inspired football here. I think he's down, but they're going to make being able to make some plays there with his feet, getting those first downs there and carrying his team for a score, and then being able to knock it to the red zone there.
You know, Louisville only had 11 plays offensively. They averaged 72 a game, but just 11 in that first quarter for the Cards. This is 2nd and 6 after we had that long review on the catch by Tobridge. Stringing out the run. It's some hard running by Jeremy Smith. It spills over into the Louisville bench area. Jonathan Thomas making the tackle for the Cuse.
Yeah, Jeremy Smith shaking off a few tackles there. But again, being able to run the ball takes pressure off of your quarterback here. Great hard running for Jeremy Smith. Yeah, he got a little chippy there as he went out of bounds there. You got the Orange there, a quick little push there. And the sideline got a little bit hostile there.
It's always hostile when Louisville and Syracuse get together. This is the 14th overall meeting between the teams. Cardinals have a 3-2 advantage at home. Down close to the 40 on the catch by Staples. Jamari Staples, who missed the first 4 games of the season, but he's back in action right now for the Cardinals.
Yeah, just a spot route, curl route on the side there, and this is what Jamari Staples can do. He can run with the best of them, and when he catches the ball, the yards after the catch, he can be able to take it to the house if he's not corralled.
24 yards on the catch by Staples. Last week, 10 catches, 133 yards. Both career highs in the 1-point win at Wake Forest. Boland's pass incomplete, and we go down to Nikki on the sidelines with more on Staples.
Yeah, Tom, well, it's no secret Jamari had a breakout game against Wake last week. The one thing that's changed since his injury and missing 4 games, his knee brace. It came off after Florida State, and there's a visible difference in his speed, his cuts, and his confidence. He told me that he feels being back to 100% when we spoke to him yesterday, and he said he's finally starting to produce like he knew he could all year long. Tom?
Yeah, Nikki. One thing about Jamari is when you take that knee brace off as a player, you know, you feel like you're a little bit restrained there. When he took that knee brace off, you can tell the difference there in this play.
Smith makes the catch, and that's close to first down yardage. Jonathan Thomas, number 23 on the tackle, give him 9 on that play. Out of bounds near the 30-yard line. And that is going to move the chains. First down for the Cards.
Well, we talked about Cal Boland being able to set his feet. He can make all the throws on the field, and he's gotten enough time to be able to do that. And this is what Coach Petrino and Garrett McGee, the offensive coordinator, talked about. Having the patience there in the pocket. You don't have to make a big play every play, but sometimes it's those short plays that can continue that drive as you get into the red zone.
This is Smith, second level, and he's cut down near the 20. That's going to be another first down. Back-to-back first downs. They'll move those sticks inside the red zone for Louisville. Antoine Cordy had the tackle for Syracuse.
Yeah, I love the play calling here. Very balanced attack right here with the draw play for the running back. But again, I want to give credit to this offensive line here that's allowing them to be able to have those seams and allow Smith to cut it up the middle there.
Smith already has a touchdown run in our game. Came in the first quarter. Represents the points for Louisville. 4 yards for Smith on the opening drive. The Cards took it in to take a 7-0 lead. 10 unanswered by the Cuse. Here comes Smith.
It's one of those times when you keep running the football there. You begin to allow your offensive line to be able to build that confidence that you need up front there, and they're getting that confidence there. And on the other end of things with Syracuse there, you start to wear out. They rotate a lot of guys in that front 7 there, and as you continue to run, it starts to wear on you a little bit.
2nd and 5 for Boland and the Cardinals. Smith. He's inside the 10. Close to the 8. Marquise Hodge with a tackle, 33 and white for the Orange.
Well, as you look at this offense, the rhythm there, we talked about the young offensive lineman there, Jerron Christian there. He lines up with left tackle, but he's more of a quick tackle. You'll see these guys flip on one end. He always lines away from the tight end side of things, and then they have a strong tackle. Aaron Epps filling in there for the young Banks there. But these guys are really gelling as an offensive line early in the game.
It is now 1st and goal for the Cardinals. Smith trying to work on that left side. He gets inside the 5-yard line. Continues to add to his total.
Jeremy Smith, a big guy, 6'2", 221 pounds here. And you see the guard here. Again, we talked about the offensive line here. Being able to seal out Thompson on the outside and allow Smith. Again, if he gets to that 2nd level, he will run over you, Tom. And he gets to that 2nd level pretty quickly there.
How about that sophomore from Hammond, California, 6'2" and 221 pounds. With 34, Jeremy Smith. 9 rushes and 55 yards in the game, and now 2nd and goal. Back to the workhorse. Lost his footing. Did the ball come loose? Yes, it did.
The Orange is saying they got it.
See if the officials agree. Based on that reaction, it is Syracuse football.
Yeah, we talked about the physicality of Smith here. But again, when you're running through traffic there, you got guys gnawing at that football, and you see who else, Zaire Franklin there, making the big play on the big running back, who's always all over the field. We talked about him earlier, the quarterback of the team, vocal leader, but also is a leading tackler and is always in the right place at the right time. I know Smith wishes he can have that one back there as they were knocking on the end zone there.
Saw Zaire Franklin make the hit to knock it loose. It looked like Stephen Clark fell on it for the Orange, and now they've got the ball back. Cardinals are driving toward that Orange goal line, and now the second turnover of the game gives it back to Syracuse and Fredericks. Not a whole lot right down Broadway.
Yeah, very conservative right now. You know, obviously backed up in their end zone. You don't want the young quarterback to do anything that would give the opposing defense an opportunity for a safety or anything like that. So being able to run that football, get it out of the end zone, give them a little cushion there.
Second and 9. Dungy from his end zone. Up near the 22 and hauled in. No, it's ruled out of bounds as Cornelius made the catch, but he was out of bounds, and Shaq Wiggins was back there with him.
Yeah, right here, Dungy taking the shot here. I like the call here. You know, just a one-on-one route here, but almost gets 1 foot in. He gets the right foot in, but I think the left foot may have touched. Well, actually, no. Tom, looks like that right foot gets down. Great catch by the Orange there.
And now, the game is going to be stopped for a moment, probably to take a look at it because their own territory. Just looking for some breathing room with Fredericks. Did that football come out?
I think so.
Fumble on the play. Syracuse comes away with it. That's Jason Emmerich, number 78, who came up with the pigskin.
Yeah, right here, you talked about just being able to get a little breathing room, Tom, here. And, you know, pretty much helmet comes on the ball, but a heads-up play there for the center, Jason Emmerich, being able to get it back.
First hit came from James Burgess, and then the ball spilled out, covered by the Orange, but Dixon standing at the back of his end zone. Alfonso Carter is awaiting this punt. Either way, it looks like the Cards are going to get some good field position. At the 48.5-yard line of the Syracuse Orange, we're taking a timeout. 9:20 to go in the second on the AC. The left of our broadcast position. Kyle Bolin remains in the game as the quarterback for the Louisville Cardinals. He's 5 of 9 through the air, 105 yards, the 1 interception, which the Orange turned into points. Louisville's last 3 drives, Ronaldo, an interception, a punt, and a fumble deep in Syracuse territory.
Very costly.
They run it on first down. Radcliffe trying to gain that edge. Time for a Hardee's update. We check in on NC State and Boston College in Chestnut Hill. Maurice Trowell from Jacoby Brissett airs it out. The pass is on schedule. 86 big yards. NC State with a 14-0 lead against Boston College. They added another touchdown. You see it's late in the second quarter. That's our Hardee's update from Chestnut Hill, our other AACC Network game. So glad that you have joined us on the ACC Network for Syracuse and Louisville. Tom Wormy, Ronaldo Wynn, the former standout at Notre Dame, and Nicky Noto is on the sidelines for us this afternoon. Radcliffe close to the 40. Antoine Cordy making the tackle. Our first and 10 line is brought to you by YP.com. The even more powerful Yellow Pages. One app, one site. YP can do that. You can see from the line that Louisville is just short here on third down as we approach the 8-minute mark of the second quarter. Kyle Bolin, the sophomore from Lexington, Kentucky, with Radcliffe behind him as the running back. Bolin with the quick drop. That pass sails. That was targeted for Staples, but he couldn't get to it. Fourth down.
Well, I'll tell you, again, we talked about the pad right there, 3rd and 2. Very surprising that they would not run the ball there, especially as much success as they've had. They had 2 tight ends there, motioning over there, but I think they're going to go for it here on this 4th down here, and I think they're going to have another opportunity to say, you know what, we got to run the football. We got to do what we do best. or maybe not.
Petrino wants to go. 6 of 10 on the season on 4th down. The pass complete. Staples inside the 30, but there are 2 penalty markers thrown near side 30-yard line. Juwan Dowells had the coverage for Syracuse. Here's the call.
Offense, number 83, 15 yards.
Yeah, the receiver here blocking here. You can't extend your arms here, and this is what he gets called for right here. You know, the entire time they see that, and Crum gets called for a play right here that could have been a big play here. And now, instead of going for it here, you get backed up, you shoot yourself in the foot, and now you punt.
So Appleby must punt for Bobby Petrino and the Cardinals. The deep man is Brisley esteemed. Twice this season he has returned punts 4 touchdowns. He did it against URI early in the season, 74 yards against Rhode Island. The first for Syracuse since 2003. Also did it late at Florida State last week. A fair catch signaled and made successfully at the 15 for Brisley esteemed.
Well, we talked about for Louisville, they're making those inopportune times there, but they got to be able to do better as we come back after the break.
To file a claim, please state your name.
Carney Wilson.
Thank you. Can you hold on?
Really? Hey, I know there's pain. Why do you lock yourself up in these chains? This would be so easy if you had Progressive. Our mobile app would let you file a claim and help you find one of our service centers where we manage the entire repair process.
Things will go your way if you hold on.
Someday somebody's gonna make you want to turn around and say goodbye. Say goodbye! No, you just made it weird.
2/3 of our planet is covered in it. So why do nearly 800 million people suffer from lack of clean water around the world? That's completely unacceptable to me. And that is why I'm working on a way to solve this global problem. Like here in Sao Paulo, Brazil. By taking the polluted water we already have and providing technologies to filter it back into clean water. My name is Manny, Senior VP of Technology. We are Coke.
If you're in the market for a new Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, or Ram and are tired of big city fast talk and fine print, you won't want to miss the Black Friday sales event going on all month at Shelbyville Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, Ram. We're just down the road from high prices on Highway 60 in Shelbyville or online at shelbyvillechrysler.net.
So you're shopping for health insurance. But are you looking in the right place? Because only Connect offers big savings on coverage from up to 7 leading insurers. And chances are you qualify for discounts. Having health insurance is the law, but that doesn't mean you should spend more than you have to. And Connect is making quality, affordable coverage a reality for every Kentuckian. So shop here first.
If you're in the market for a new Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, or Ram and are tired of big city fast talk and fine print, you won't want to miss the Black Friday sales event going on all month at Shelbyville Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, Ram. We're just down the road from high prices on Highway 60 in Shelbyville or online at shelbyvillechrysler.net.
Which ACC school has played the most college football games in its history?
Download and play the ACC Football Trivia app powered by Duke Energy.
Our Duke Energy trivia question provided by the third-year head coach of the Syracuse Orange, Scott Schaefer, and we'll have that answer for you coming up later in the broadcast. Here's what the Orange has done. See the touchdown off of the interception. Then they went 16 plays for the field goal. They lead at 10-7, Ronaldo.
Yeah, absolutely. Sometimes your best defense can be your offense, keeping the other team's offense off the field, and they've had an opportunity to be able to sustain some of those drives. We'll see what they do now as they have the ball.
1st and 10 for the Orange from its own 15-yard line. Dungy floats it. Incomplete. He was looking for a steam. Shaq Wiggins also there.
Yeah, Dungy gets hit pretty hard here, and right here in front of him here. He doesn't really be able to get a step in the football there. Pretty physical right there on the play there, but he takes a big shot here. Stays down a little bit, but tough kid in Dungy there.
Keith Kelsey got right up in the grill there of Dungy. Ian Foy was the player that Dungy had fallen onto, and he's being helped off by the training staff. 72 is Foy, and you can see Dungy, he goes right into him.
Yeah, when you have that traffic in the middle there, I mean, it's tough when you have a guy, falling into your legs there, and he's, trying to shake that off there. Hopefully he'll be all right and ready to go.
Yeah, Foy, 32 career starts along an offensive line that has some great experience in trying to protect the freshman quarterback. George Morris II is coming as the running back for the Orange to the left of Dungy, 2nd and 10. Dungy throwing on the run and complete up to the 24-yard line.
Yeah, the fans here, they want a holding call here, but nevertheless, even with the pressure, is always being able to extend the football play and making something happen with his yardage, be able to have some positive yardage there and put them at 3rd and short. Well, right here, they're looking for that little tug there, as you can hear from the fans. They wanted a flag there, but again, great play for Dungy.
Josh Parrish made the catch on the previous play. This will be a direct snap for the Orange, trying to gain a first down. Looks like they've got it, as it was Jordan Fredericks who took that direct snap. Chucky Williams made the tackle, but not before a first down for the Syracuse Orange.
Yeah, just a great charge by the defense here, but the wildcat play right here by the true freshman Jordan Fredericks has an uncanny ability to be able to find those holes and be able to keep it going there with the first down, moving the chains.
Yeah, that wild orange look, effective for a first down for Syracuse up beyond its own 25-yard line. Once again, Dungy gives it off. And a collision at the 35-yard line. Irvin Phillips and Chucky Williams are getting acquainted. 8 yards on the play.
Yeah, Irvin Phillips here, he motions in the backfield there for the draw play there. Very shifty, 5'11", 181 pounds here, but he freezes the linebacker here with his move here and is always able to do something there. But again, great play by the defensive guy there, making the tackle in the hole there.
Chucky Williams in the open field against Irvin Phillips, a sophomore from West Haven, Connecticut. He was injured earlier this season against Rhode Island and missed 3 games. That one is intercepted. Washington to the end zone. Touchdown Cardinals on the pick by Tremaine Washington. .36 yards on the pick by Washington, his 4th of the season.
Yeah, out route here, which is one of the hardest throws to make for a quarterback, but he reads it the entire way here. Dungy knows that he should not have thrown that football, and Tremaine Washington makes him pay for it here. Already had 3 interceptions for the year, leads his team, adds a 4th one there with the big pick 6 back to the end zone.
The sophomore from Miami, Florida, anticipating the pass from the freshman Eric Dungy. And we'll be back after a word from your local ACC station.
More than 20 million people suffer from a painful condition known as peripheral neuropathy. Welcome, I'm Meredith Lane, and this is today's Better Health. Today we're with Dr. Anthony Sears, author of the books Your 21st Century Doctor and Renew, Break Free from Diabetes and Reclaim Your Life. He is changing the lives of those diagnosed with peripheral neuropathy right here in Louisville. Neuropathy is not only painful, but it's also frustrating. Why is that?
Patients are diagnosed with neuropathy, which is often associated with diabetes and chemotherapy. They're given medications and basically told that the neuropathy won't get better.
Why are patients with neuropathy unable to get rid of the condition, or at least the pain associated with it?
In my opinion, the problem is that neuropathy is usually managed at the symptom level. Typically, the treatments are the same for most people, and those treatments are aimed at controlling the symptoms, not the underlying cause of the neuropathy and what is causing it to get worse. Patients are in pain, and they eventually just give up, and that's when things really start to go downhill.
How is your approach different?
We do specific testing and conduct a thorough neurological exam aimed at identifying unique imbalances in the body and the nervous system. We look and test for the underlying cause of what triggered the neuropathy in the first place. From there, we formulate a customized treatment plan to address their pain or any imbalances metabolically and neurologically.
So what are the typical results in your office when you use this customized approach that's unique to each individual?
Patients in our office are able to diminish or eliminate the symptoms and pain associated with the neuropathy. They may be able to reduce and eliminate their medications. They are active again and no longer sitting on the sidelines.
That's amazing. Today, Dr. Sears is offering the first 25 callers a complimentary consultation, which is a $350 value. So call 866-490-6262 to schedule your free consultation and discover and fix what is causing your peripheral neuropathy. The number to call is 866-490-6262.
You are watching the ACC Network, an exclusive production of Raycom Sports.
Let's take another look at this play by Trumaine Washington right here. You know, we already know about his coverage ability, but Dungy here, you know, this is what you have for an inexperienced quarterback. He's going to stare the route down all the way. That out route, sometimes it's hard to get to, but he just jumps the route. He reads the quarterback's eyes, jumps the routes, and he ends up making a big play for this Card defense right here and takes it in there to the end zone. Reads the eyes the entire way, Tom.
That is the 14th interception of the season for Louisville as a team, but the first time they have picked one off and taken it to the end zone. The fourth INT of the season for Washington produces points for Louisville. The steam from the 8. Crosses the 25 to the 26. There is a penalty marker out. A flag came out. Chucky Williams with the tackle on special teams. But once again, a penalty marker on the return by Brisley Esteem for the Orange.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense. I'm sorry, the kicking team, 86. 15 yards. Automatic first down.
So Devontae Pete gets flagged with that personal foul. Timeout on the field.
At Duke Energy, it's our job to provide electricity for all the things in your life. But we know we're powering more than just things. We're powering sweet dreams and those "she's finally asleep. Oh, wait, she's not" moments. That's why we're developing cleaner energy solutions that reduce emissions, so our energy is always improving for your future and hers. Because we never forget that what we're delivering is more than just electricity. It's power for your life.
This is Brian. Every day, Brian drives carefully to work. And every day Brian drives carefully to work, there are rate suckers. He's been paying more for car insurance because of their bad driving for so long, he doesn't even notice them anymore. But one day, Brian gets Snapshot from Progressive. Now, Brian has a rate based on his driving, not theirs. Get Snapshot and see just how much your good driving could save you.
After an accident, insurance claims can be complicated. Was the at-fault driver insured? Are you entitled to more than the insurance company is offering? Call or live chat Kaufman Stigger Injury Lawyers 24/7 at getthetiger.com.
Life is easy here. And now you can make it even easier. Because here, you can get a home equity line of credit from Republic Bank with no closing costs and a 1.99% 12-month fixed interest rate with an ongoing variable rate after that. So you can pay off higher loan rates, manage unexpected expenses, even make a home improvement or two. Apply at your nearest Republic Banking Center today. We're Republic Bank, and it's just easier here.
Injured in an accident? Let Kaufman Stigger Injury Lawyers negotiate for you. We've been fighting insurance companies for decades. It takes a team effort, but our clients are worth it. For help, go to getthetiger.com.
Challenge presented by Coyote Tractor. Quarterback your favorite ACC team, practice your passing skills, and compete in rivalry challenges. Download it free today.
14-10, Louisville has the lead. Syracuse has the football. After that spectacular interception return TD by Trumaine Washington, the 14th for the Cardinals this season. against Eric Dungy, who threw his 4th interception of the year. That number of total INTs for the Cards, that is first in the ACC. Fredericks escapes one man. Just a few yards on the play. Devontae Fields, the tackle for Louisville. Time for a Hardee's update. We're going back to Chestnut Hill. It's NC State in the white, BC in the maroon and gold, but this is Jalen Samuels around the end. It is 5 yards for the score. And NC State has the 14-0 halftime lead on the road. A victory for Dave Dorn and the Wolfpack, and they become bowl eligible. 5-3 so far in the season for NC State. Back to Louisville, and second down for the Orange. Dungy steps up, spins to midfield away from Tremaine Washington.
Well, what a way to be able to get the quarterback back involved, obviously. But again, this is his strength right here, his escapability to be able to get away from defenders there. He's got Trevon Young coming off the edge here, but being able to get that positive yardage to keep the drive going for the Orange.
8 yards on the run by Dungy, sets up 3rd and 1. Syracuse 3 of 7 on 4th down of the game. Dungy wants it. He's not going to get it. Devontae Fields wrapped him up for the Bill.
Yeah, this is a called quarterback run play right here, designed. But I think the Louisville defense, they sniffed this one out. They knew the entire time that he was going to run the football, and they came up big with the big stop here, forcing the Orange to punt the football. But they got to be careful again, because Riley Dixon, he's a specialist, but they've done some fake punt calls right here, so they got to be aware of that.
Yeah, Dixon had a fake punt in the game against Virginia. That produced a TD for Syracuse in that triple overtime loss. This time he will punt it away. Fair catch made at the 11 by Alfonso Carter. Well, the Ram Power Play is brought to you by the Ram 1500. In last weekend's victory against NC State, Deshaun Watson threw 5 touchdowns to 5 different receivers. The game-clinching score came on a screen pass to Zach Brooks. He powered 35 yards into the end zone. The decisive victory helped give Clemson the top spot in this week's college football playoff rankings. And they've got a big one coming up today. That's the Ram Power Play. They are hosting the Florida State Seminoles, the team that defeated Syracuse a week ago in Tallahassee.
Yeah, that's an exciting game, and surely whoever wins that game is going to be big for the ACC title there.
Diving grab by Staples up near the 25.
Well, there's no doubt about it that the Cards, they want to get Staples the football. They know his big play, capable be able to make these big plays here and just the inside. But again, he's got those great hands there. I mean, does a great job being able to catch that football.
14 yards on that grab by Jamari Staples, the junior from Lineville, Alabama. Bolin wants to go back to the air, has the protection. That pass complete. James Quick near the 40. Delivered with precision off the right arm of Kyle Bolin.
Well, if you allow the quarterback to bake a cake back there, which he has some great protection, I told you he can make any throw on the field here, as you can see right here, spreading it around there. Goes from Staples now to James Quick, the hometown kid from Trinity Catholic.
Bolin got 16 yards out of that pass play to Quick. As Ronaldo said, from right here in Louisville, Kentucky. Feeling the hot hand, but feeling the pressure and being sacked. 51 is Donnie Simmons Jr. He's got himself his first sack of the season, Ronaldo Wynn.
Yeah, Donnie Simmons Jr., even though it's his first sack, he's pressured the quarterback quite a bit, and that's one of the things that offensive coordinator Derek McGee talked about. As you can see right here on this blitz package, the defensive end goes inside there, the offensive line. He's got 2 guys to try to block here, but Simmons finishes it off, and that's what they got to do, neutralize these defensive ends with this blitz package.
That is a loss of 8. Bolin has to run to his right, throw to his left towards midfield, and it is incomplete. Jalen Smith, the intended receiver. Kylan Whitner was back there for Syracuse defending against Smith. As we take a peek at our college football playoff rankings, it's brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Clemson and Florida State going head-to-head in Death Valley today, Ronaldo.
Yeah, we always talk about this matchup right here is the defining moment for the ACC title here. And whoever wins this game usually wins the division conference title there. So this is going to be a great matchup between Clemson and Florida State.
Now, the last 4 years, the winner of that game has gone on to win the ACC championship game. The last 6 years, the winner of that game has the Atlantic Division. And Clemson can do it with a victory today. Bolin escapes, throws to midfield, and it's complete to Staples.
You got to love it. You know, Bolin is not the running quarterback, but he feels the pressure, and he's able to have a little bit of escapability himself. He sees the blitz from the outside and makes a great play, extending the play with his legs and almost close for a first down.
It's another 16-yard chunk. And now it's 4th and 2. They've already converted 1 4th down in the game for the Cardinals. Jeremy Smith is back there as the running back from their own 48-yard line. Ball in, he's got an open man. Down to the 20. Towbridge. .28 yards, Bolin to Towbridge.
Yeah, right here. Garrett, he's going into his playbook here. We call this the old shoot screen right here. You see the line there, everybody's blocking to the left side of the offense there, and you have that tight end. He slips by and makes a big play there.
That's complete. James Quick. They'll rule him out at about the 14-yard line as Hudson was back defensively for Syracuse. And Bolin is definitely into a rhythm on this drive. You'll recall that Louisville scored a touchdown on its first possession, but has stumbled offensively since. That included a fumble at about the 3-yard line for Syracuse late. Orange recovered that one. Now here comes Louisville again. So far in the red zone, 1 for 2, 76% scoring, and the season to the end zone, and a touchdown. Nicotini on the receiving end from Bolin.
Yeah, great throw right up the seam right here. And we talked about having time, even though he had pressure, takes a shot, but steps into the play and makes a strike into the end zone to Cole.
Nicotini with his first TD grab of the season. Just his 7th catch of the year produces points for Louisville. And the Cards have upped the lead to 21-10 with 1:23 to go in the second quarter. Relive over 60 classic football games, all for free, courtesy of the ACC and your local Toyota dealers. 4 years ago, the Clemson Tigers rode the young legs of Sammy Watkins to a 35-30 win over Florida State, a victory that helped propel the Tigers to an ACC championship. Watkins finished with 141 receiving yards, 2 TDs in the win. Visit the ACC.com/vault. Brought to you by Toyota. Let's go places. Tigers hoping to go places as the #1 team in those college football playoff rankings right now, but a date with Florida State later this afternoon. In fact, Florida State has won 4 of the last 5 ACC championships. The only one they didn't win was the one we just referenced, the Tigers winning that ACC title for head coach Dabo Swinney. Into the end end zone beyond Grizzly esteem. 13 yards was the pass play from Bolin to Hicutini for the TD.
Yeah, here's the guy right here. He comes out with a little bit of a hesitation right here, almost as if he's going to go for an out route, double move play, and the linebacker bites on the play, and he's open for the big touchdown. He does a great sell job there for his team to be able to get open there.
Scott Schaefer had to watch Kyle Bolin go 6 of 7 on that drive and 97 yards and hit Hicutini in the end zone. Now let's see what his freshman quarterback Eric Dungy has in response. Now there's whistles prior to the development of this play. You see the flag out at the top of the screen.
False start. Offense. Number 57. It's a 5-yard penalty. First down.
That pass to Hicutini for Bolin, his second TD pass of the season. Again, that went 13 yards for the TD. Syracuse after the penalty. Back to the 20. Deflected and incomplete. Pio Vatuve doing the push-ups. Thought he had one.
A blitz call right here, and this is a play right here that the quarterback never sees because he doesn't expect the defensive line here to be able to drop in coverage. But whether you're a cornerback, linebacker, or even in this case a defensive lineman, you got to catch the football, so therefore you got to do push-ups.
So after that brief calisthenic experience by Vatuve, we're back to action on 2nd and 15. That one flutters out. The momentum of the arm of Eric Dungy may have been affected by Trevon Young.
Yeah, and here it is being affected right here. You see Trevon Young, great pass rusher here. We talked to him yesterday. Is a guy that has an array of moves here, and he's excited, man. He wants to eat a little bit here as the Orange are in their 2-minute offense. And these guys up front here, as Coach Gratham talks about, you're going to see guys rotating in, and guys are going to be coming after the passer.
3rd down for Syracuse on its own 20-yard line. Just a minute 15 to go in the second quarter. There is a flag thrown in the secondary of Louisville. Once again prior to the play.
That's not our fault, you subway. Delay of game. Offense. It's a 5-yard penalty.
Coming up on our Hyundai halftime report, Katie Witham and Tommy Bowden will preview today's Florida State Clemson showdown from our Charlotte studio. We'll also have highlights of our other ACC Network broadcast, NC State and Boston College in Chestnut Hill, coming from Tim Brent and Dave Archer on site in Chestnut Hill. All that and more coming up on the Hyundai halftime report. My old friend Tommy Bowden in the studio. 3 great years with Tommy working on the ACC Blitz, and you can see him and Katie at halftime along with Tim and Dave from Chestnut Hill. All right, 3rd down for the Cuse, 3rd and 20. Ishmael. It's going to be well short. Tremaine Washington made sure that Ishmael did not get away. Now look, man. Thinking about a return. Falling forward and making the catch at the 40. And that's where the Cardinals will go to work. Into the end zone to Cole Hicutini. His first TD grab of the season, just his 7th catch of the year also, and that's going to be L.J. Scott. That takes us to this point. 57 seconds to go, and 21-10 Louisville in possession.
Well, they have 2 timeouts left. Being able to throw the ball to the sideline and be able to get out of bounds there. But at the end of the day, Garrick McGee, you know, and Coach Petrino, I think they're going to be pretty aggressive. They want to be able to capitalize and be able to get some points before they go into the half.
Bolin was smoking hot on the previous drive, 6 of 7 and 97 yards. Before this one can get going, another yellow penalty marker.
False start. Offense. 87. It's a 5-yard penalty.
So the freshman
away from that momentum.
On 2nd and 10, had to get rid of it quickly. With some serious orange pressure coming right up in his grill. Ted Taylor, number 37, had the pursuit for Syracuse.
Yeah, Ted Taylor right here is filling in for Paris Bennett here at linebacker, and just a linebacker blitz up the middle there, and would not allow the quarterback there, Bolin, to step in and be able to make that throw that was open at the time.
Sputtering start to this offensive possession for the Cardinals. A penalty, a pressured throw from Bolin, and now it's 3rd and 10. 54 seconds on the game clock. Bolin again just barely got it away. Connected with number 87.
Number 14, Bolin's pass complete to number 87.
On the ACC network, but here are the options. We'll have the ACC Blitz powered by Ram trucks at noon with Katie Witham and Tommy Bowden to get you started, and then one of those options for our game. Fair catch made by Esteem at the 13. (21-10). Louisville has the lead. Syracuse with the football from its own 13. 38 seconds to go. Josh Paris with Dungy. Eyes upfield. Oh, looked like a bit of a miscommunication with Irvin Phillips, and that stops the clock with 29. Dungy's pass is complete. It's going to be for short yardage to Paris as Chucky Williams wrapped him up. Beyond the 20 to about the 20, but gave up a late touchdown to Florida State and then could not overcome that deficit. Dixon got it away. He went to the turf. No flags come out. Fair catch at the 30 is made. Carter makes it. Safe run. It is for first down yardage by L.J. Scott, but it's going to be that clock continuing to tick. Now, of course, they hold the clock until they set the ball. And now
into the offensive side of the ball as they also score.
Syracuse punting on 3 successive possessions after the Trumaine Washington interception. That's complete. It is Staples at the 33, but that's going to do it. The clock runs out. Trip for 2 to the ACC Championship at Continental Tires at TirePros Sweepstakes.com. Second half kickoff. The Steam from the 9. Runs into traffic at the 25 as we go down to Nikki.
Hey guys, you know, when I talked to Jamari Staples this week, he said that knowing the ball is coming my way makes me feel better about it, and the team and coaches just rely on me to make plays. And you know, Coach McGee, he told us this week that in November, you have to win in November, and you've got to get the ball to certain people. Staples is that guy. You want to force the ball to experienced players, and he can just feel the urgency of the situation, and that's what veterans do. Tom?
The junior, 6'4" and 196 pounds, and he's got 4 catches in our game so far.
Yeah, like Nicky said, I mean, he's a guy that you got to get his hands in the football. He's going to make these big plays, and that's what Petrino and Garrett talked about, is being able to make bigger plays for their offense.
Not a lot there for the Orange on first down. 159 total yards for Syracuse in the first half. Fredericks had 8 carries and 27 yards. Dungy was the leading rusher for Syracuse in the first half with 7 carries and 28 yards. Irvin Phillips had the teeny run in the first quarter of 4 yards. That represents the Orange touchdown so far today. Second and 8. Dungy deep. Incomplete, too far for Grizzly Esteem. Wiggins trying to go stride for stride with number 9 in white.
Wiggins here is a true covered corner here on the outside here, and a little hand check in there with a little press man. The refs are letting them play there, but great coverage there by Wiggins.
Syracuse 3 of 10 on third down in the first half. The situation presents itself in the opening moments of the second half for Syracuse. Dungy with the time, got it away. Ishmael diving for the 40. with Tremaine Washington wrapped all around him. Steve Ishmael with the catch, and 30 yards later, the Orange has a first down into Louisville territory.
Well, that's the one thing that Dungey does. He does not shy away. You would think with Washington being able to get that pick six early here, and he goes right back at him. He goes into his second progression for the ball, and Tremaine Washington loses sight of the football there, and Ishmael comes back and makes a big catch.
Big third down conversion for the Orange. Now Phillips. He falls forward at about the 36-yard line. A 4-yard run for Irvin Phillips. We check in with Nikki. More on Steve Ishmael.
Yeah, Tom, so when I talked to Steve Ishmael this week, among other players, they all said that practice has just been definitely different this week. We've just gotten the feeling of the practice of the game, and they're just hoping that that momentum from practice this week, the intense practices, that it translates to the field. And Ishmael says that once he gets in the rhythm, that hopefully the offense as whole is a little more productive.
So far, a couple of grabs for Ishmael. George Morris II is behind Dungey. They run the option. Dungey hangs onto it and gets back to about the 35-yard line. Sheldon Rankins, number 98.
Yeah, great lateral pursuit by the defense here, and this is what they do well. All 11 guys to the football. That's what Coach Tom Graham talks about. But very surprised that they ran the option to the short side of the football field. Usually you run that to the wide side.
Another third down for Syracuse. Last time on third down of this drive, they went to Ishmael. That was a 30-yard pass play. Dungey dancing on the run throw. Ishmael tried to get around Washington and make a one-handed grab, and he couldn't come away with it.
Yeah, Ishmael almost came up with this football again. Tremaine Washington, you know, not really looking at the football, but great coverage again on the other side there. But Dungey, he's able to go to his second progression, try to make a play on the other side of the football, but great protection up front to be able to allow him to be able to do that.
So Cole Murphy is in for the field goal attempt. It would be a 52-yarder, 2 yards longer than his career long of 50. Murphy from 52. No good. In the first half for Bolin. This time they'll run it. Smith. Maybe two. Kyle Bolin has looked at these targets, Staples most notably, but that's a big list, and that includes Picatinny with his first TD grab of the year.
Yeah, Bolin's done a great job being able to spread the ball, balance the attack. Can't key on one guy, even though Staples is the big play receiver as we talked about, but great job for Bolin just spreading it around.
79 yards receiving in the first half for Jamari Staples. Bolin. James Quick was falling to the turf but made the catch. First down into Syracuse territory.
Well, giving credit to this offensive line. Can't say anything enough about it, but not so sure if it's a catch at all, if he was able to get underneath it. But yeah, catches the ball with his hands. This Orange are saying that it may have to come back. Surprised it may not challenge it.
Play stands, 18 yards. Bolin ripped that one through the hands of Jalen Smith. There was some velocity behind that pass. Off the right arm of Kyle Bolin.
Yeah, pretty high there, but still touches his hands. You got to be able to catch those balls. I know probably was a finger breaker right there with the velocity on there, but Jalen Smith has to catch those.
Quick has a couple of catches, 23 yards so far. That one slipping through his fingertips. Second and 10 for Louisville. Little delay. Smith slips away. And he's got enough for a first down. Inside the 35-yard line, Jeremy Smith, and 11 yards.
Well, that's why they call it a game of inches right there, because Kyle Bolin barely gets the ball off to hand off to Jeremy Smith here. Guards pulling around the corner there, and right where they left off is where Jeremy Smith went, and he had an open field right there getting to that second level.
Smith will get a breather on 1st and 10. 12 rushes, 69 yards, Jeremy Smith, and a touchdown. Bolin sails it to the 10 and caught. James Quick got away from 40, just enough separation, and down close to the 10-yard line. 22 yards on the play.
What a throw by the young kid Bolin. He's feeling himself right here. He even feels a little pressure on his back. He doesn't budge at all and makes a huge strike for a huge play to James Quick, the hometown kid for Trinity Catholic.
You could see Stephen Clark was right in his face, and Bolin did not flinch. 1st and goal. L.J. Scott into the end zone for the Cardinals.
Could be coming back here. The orange players waving towards the Louisville offense there. Look at that lane right there, Tom, right up the middle there, but that's what happens when you're able to have success in the passing game.
Penalty went against the Cardinals, so take the points off of the board. A holding penalty, as indicated by our referee Ron Cherry, against Keith Tobridge. So Jeremy Smith, or L.J. Scott rather, had a clean path to the end zone. So 1st and goal, but you push that football back on the penalty. That pass complete at the 10-yard line. It's Travion Samuel. Now we go inside of 10 minutes in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, you see the offensive coaches on the sideline there. Garrett is saying, hey, speed up the tempo a little bit there and get into your rhythm there. He's got this young quarterback. He doesn't want to lose that momentum.
L.J. Scott to the left. With quarterback Kyle Bolin. Bolin, quick toss to the end zone, and it's too high and too far for Jalen Smith. In fact, Chauncey Sissom was closest to it, defending for Syracuse. And now 3rd and goal, Ronaldo.
Yeah, you know, Bolin, he's smiling there because there was a miscommunication play right there, and you know, he thought the receiver was going for a fade route, and instead the receiver cut it short there. And again, you know, you got to be able to capitalize on every play, especially when you're in the red zone.
Surprisingly, Louisville is 0 for 5 on 3rd down in this game. This is 3rd and goal from the 10. 5 receivers set, lofted to the end zone, and caught for a touchdown. Picatinny, TD grab number 2.
Unbelievable. This kid Bolin is having himself a heck of a game, and you talk about the 2nd touchdown for the tight end, Cole there. I mean, does a great job getting the ball to the highest point, but there's a mismatch right there because Cole, 6'5", against a shorter defender there, but there you have right there the quarterback on the ground as he gets hit, waving the touchdown signal. Huge play for the Cards.
.93 yards. You just never know who's going to step up in the ACC.
Yeah, and you can...
Broke it up in the secondary, looking for a steam. Wiggins there.
Yeah, and going back to Picatinny, you can rest assured that he's going to be in the there, and he's able to flip it and play great defense.
The steam had to knock it away. Maybe back to the line of scrimmage. Their defense so tough, only 15 allowed And Syracuse needs a conversion on third down. That is to Strickland also. But Josh Harvey Clemens makes the tackle. That is a little bit short of the markers, maybe by a couple of yards.
Yeah, this Card defense gets better as they go along, and this is the reason why they're not going forward, because of this defense really playing well. But again, you got to be careful with Riley Dixon back there as a punter. Used to be a quarterback, great athlete. Again, has converted 3 times for fourth down conversions.
Now one fake punt, a couple fake field goals for Dixon. Alfonso Carter is deep, just inside his own 20. Great punt from Dixon, and that's a fair catch beyond the 15. And at about the 18-yard line by Alfonso Carter. We'll be back after a word from your local ACC station. It's won the last 4 ACC championship games. Louisville has the football just inside its own 20. Brandon Radcliffe, Jr. from Miami, Florida, gets the call.
Well, with the 18-point lead that the Cards have right now, you can expect them to be able to run the football, be able to chop off a lot of that clock right there. So for Syracuse, they have to make sure they put the Cards in third and long down distances to be able to have an opportunity to get off the field and put their offense back on the field.
Bolin up near the 45 and caught. Jalen Smith. Bolin's delivering the football, and the receivers are keeping up their end of the bargain.
Yeah, why run the football, I guess, when you have Bolin the way he's playing and spreading it out on the ISO play here. Man coverage again, and, you know, not bad coverage, but again, Jalen Smith goes up and gets the football. He says, I want this ball a little bit more, and makes a big play there.
28 yards on the collaboration with Jalen Smith from Kyle Bolin. Tried to hand it off to Radcliffe. He was met immediately. That's going to be a loss of a couple. Back to the 45. Marquise Hodge on the tackle along with Chris Slayton.
Yeah, Marquise Hodge made a great play here and just shooting the hole there, and just a great play call on defense to be able to counter against the draw play there for the Cards there.
Just over 6 minutes to go in the third quarter. Louisville's won 4 of the last 5 against Syracuse and has the lead in the third, and that's complete at midfield. James Quick. Clock will stop into Syracuse territory. Time for a Hyundai update. And we return to Chapel Hill. Mitch Trubisky, he's going to do it himself on third and goal. Check out the score, 66-24. It appears that the Tar Heels are going to ring the victory bell and keep the winning streak going. It's into the fourth now.
Yeah, it's in the fourth. You see the second string quarterback in there. Everybody's getting a little bit of the action there, and great day for the Tar Heels. But again, surprisingly for Duke, they had an opportunity, obviously, to be right there in the hunt.
Puts the Tar Heels squarely in the driver's seat to get to Charlotte in the ACC championship game, which they have not participated in. This will be the 11th ACC championship game as that pass goes incomplete. Only out of the queue, he's returned 2 punts for touchdowns this season. Appleby just gets it away. He'll go for the fair catch at about the 14-yard.
Those throws.
Season high, 333 yards passing for Bolin. 20 of 29 through the air. Dungy just got it away. There is not a Syracuse. Once Washington made that interception, it seemed to be infectious, and the whole team really jumped on board, and that includes their leader today, Kyle Bolin. Dungy's pass complete. Irvin Phillips.
To be able to make plays, get turnovers, just continue to play through the football, and even as you see right here, just all these guys are running to the football, hustling to the football, making a play. Great coverage, rushing the quarterback. The young quarterback has no place to throw the football, and that's a lot of credit to this defense as they string it out here on the option play. And again, very surprised on being able to run that option play.
Dumerville honored today, his number 58 in the facade of the Ring of Honor here at Papa John's Cardinal Stadium. Carter with a fair catch as some players go flying.
It's in the rhythm. We talked about that pro style and how he fits that pro style offense. And, you know, enough said about Marquise.
Breakaway run. Brandon Radcliffe down the sideline and cut down just before the 25-yard line as Cordy might have saved the TD dash.
Brandon Radcliffe right here being able to really make a big play with his legs there and gets into that second level. Almost makes it home there before he's taken down. But this shows you how much the defense for the Orange are really focusing in on this quarterback. And you're able to run the football. It works hand in hand, Tom.
How about 46 yards from Brandon Radcliffe? Left side. Radcliffe still up, fighting his way down to the 10. Number 23, the junior from Miami, Florida. It's Brandon Radcliffe.
Well, Brandon Radcliffe here, he is a north and south runner right here. One cut, run straight up the field, hard to bring down, but we talked about on offense for the Orange not being able to sustain those drives, and it takes effect on your defense when you're playing a lot of plays. You see those guys not really running to the football like they were in the beginning of the game, and it's really starting to wear on them.
How about 62 yards in his last 2 carries, going right back to him. Radcliffe inside the 5 and down close to the 2-yard line.
Well, they have Jeremy Smith also, and then Radcliffe here, more of a shifty guy there, you know, can really move fast, 0 to 60 quick, and they're just feeding him. Again, you know, just continue to get stronger, and it really opens up a lot for your offense, especially with the play action pass here.
Radcliffe had 110 yards in the win at Syracuse last year, 28-6 for Louisville. Trying to add to it. They won't do it here on 2nd and goal. Maybe a loss. Number 4, Zaire Franklin, leading tackler for the Syracuse team.
Well, Zaire Franklin, he is the pride of this defense. He's a vocal leader. I know he's in there motivating these guys, talking to the defensive line, talking to the secondary and his linebacker. Got to come up with a big play here, as they did early in the game, and got a turnover when Zaire got the called fumble there.
Third and goal for Louisville. Football at the 4. Smith. Not enough to get to the house. He'll come up a yard or 2 short.
Zaire in the mix again, right there in the middle there. And, you know, sophomore captain, a guy that the coaches say that they look to this guy for leadership, and he's able to make a big play here and be able to turn away this Card offense from getting into the end zone as they go for a field goal.
And it could be a record-setting field goal for John Wallace, who has 60 in his career. Right now he's tied for the all-time school lead. 9 of 14 on the season. Wallace with the kick, and it's good. Number 45 is now number 1 in the Louisville record books. 61 career field goals, 31-10 Louisville. And in relief from the game 2 weeks into the season against Houston, a close loss for Louisville. Then he started the next week against Clemson. Had to come in for an injured Lamar Jackson. There's a toss by Dungy, up to midfield and complete. It's Ishmael, a little stiff arm, and he is down to the 43-yard line of Louisville before Tremaine Washington can drag him down.
Yeah, Eric Dungy, the Card defense thought he was going with the bubble screen as he looks over to his left there, and everybody's going over there, but he finds the receiver there open for the big play, and Steve Ishmael and keeps those drives going that we talked about, which is much needed for this Orange offense.
17 yards on the pass to Ishmael. Dungy complete near the 35-yard line, a group tackle of the receiver Dante Strickland. That the final play of the third quarter. They're dancing at Papa John's Cardinal Stadium, and for good reason. Picatinny, 2 TD grabs, Cards up, 31-10 on an education lottery.
Yeah, great job for the Cards offense. 487 yards, but the rushing yards has really opened it up for the passing yards, 333.
Brandon Radcliffe big on that previous drive. This year, the North Carolina Education Lottery will contribute more than $500 million to help meet North Carolina's education needs. Learn more at nc-educationlottery.org. Ready to start the fourth. Cardinals up 31-10. Syracuse has the football. Second down for Dungy. Almost intercepted, and then the receiver came around to grab it. There's a flag thrown in the Syracuse backfield. Now Kelsey had a piece of it. Parrish made the catch, and Dungy was slow to get up.
Personal foul. Defense number 98. Roughing the passer. 15-yard penalty will be added to the end of the tackle. First down.
Yeah, as we take a look at the penalty here, Sheldon Rankings coming up the middle there and doesn't lay off, and it costs his team there. And Eric Dungy takes a huge hit right here, right up the middle there. But again, you talk about that focus of being able to hang on to the football there. Josh Parrish doing a great job.
First and 10 for Syracuse. We know that Eric Dungy is a tough customer. Knocked out with a concussion in the Central Michigan game, but came back a couple weeks later. Devontae McFarland on the rush. Jermaine Reeve.
Well, this defensive.
Second and 10 from the 17. Opening moments of the fourth quarter. Dungy to the 15. Devontae Fields as Dungy had to evacuate a collapsing pocket.
Yeah.
Time to throw to the end zone. Incomplete. Dante Strickland was back there. Holder is Riley Dixon. He flips it forward to the 16. And Syracuse comes up short on it. They have done that on a couple of occasions this season with success, but not this time.
Yeah, and this is just great coaching on the Cards side, being aware. You do have Riley Dixon there. He's the holder here, the former quarterback. He's thrown a touchdown earlier, and they're all over it.
That's the defensive end Ron Thompson involved in the play. But James Burgess was not having it.
Not at all.
On downs, it goes back to the Cardinals.
Yeah, James Burgess and Ron Thompson, 13 tackles, number 13, but Ron Thompson was a tight end, got converted, defensive tackle, and now defensive end. Doesn't work, though.
Radcliffe, the motor is running hot for number 23. Look at him go. Breaking tackles and beyond the 30. Brandon Radcliffe.
And that's something you can't teach. You look at the last drive with Radcliffe, he's able to gain momentum there. They're feeding him the football. He gets stronger as the game goes along. We talked about the shiftiness, the quick cuts, moving north and south here. And this is what just happened right here as he finishes it off, missing tackles. I mean, great footwork, keeping his balance, getting into the second level.
8 carries and 75 yards for Radcliffe. Jalen Smith with the catch at the 40, and now 9 carries and 92 yards. Updated now for Radcliffe after the catch by Smith. Brandon Radcliffe came in as the second leading rusher behind Lamar Jackson, who is in uniform but has not seen the field so far today. Well, Radcliffe's done most of it in the second half also, Ronaldo.
Yeah, and this is what's been so needed for this Card offense. Young guys step it up, guys that hadn't been a part of the offense. You talked about Lamar Jackson being that leader, and now you look at Radcliffe and what he's doing, and even the other guy, Jeremy Smith there, number 34, also a bigger running back.
Over 500 yards of total offense. Here's Radcliffe to the 40, and they finally wrestle him down at the 35. He's ripping them off in big chunks.
Look at the offensive line. They love blocking for this guy because they know he's going to make the most out of every run that he has here. And he's getting to the second level every time, and he's tiring out this defense for Syracuse getting to that second level. Hats off goes to the number 74, Jerron Christian, Lucius McNeil, Tobiah Hewley, Skylar Lacey, Aaron Epps, all those offensive linemen up front making those holes. Lacey had that key block for that play to be able to break it open for Radcliffe in the second level.
117 yards gained now for Radcliffe. That's an average of 11.7 yards per carry. On his 10 carries for Radcliffe, there is a stoppage with 11:07. So we'll wait for Ron Cherry.
Delay of game. Offense. That's a 5-yard penalty.
Country music artists Dustin Lynch and Tyler Farr will headline ACC Fan Fest on December 5th. Don't miss the free event held outside Bank of America Stadium prior to the ACC Football Championship game. Get your game tickets today and learn more about ACC Fan Fest by visiting theacc.com. It is a fantastic event leading you up to kickoff of the ACC Championship on December 5th. Bank of America Stadium in Charlotte. And here goes Louisville again. This is Hicatini. He's down close to the 35-yard line.
Yeah, screen play to Hicatini here, and Syracuse much needed stop here, being able to rally to the football on these screen plays here, and this is just a sheer out effort play for Syracuse. Marquise Hodge getting to the football.
536 yards of total offense for the Louisville Cardinals, who have posted 31 points. And anytime they do that with Bobby Petrino as the head coach, he is 43-4 as a head coach. When you score 30 or more, they're still moving down the field with Smith. Ball comes out, and Syracuse may have covered it at the 30. Stephen Clark, number 72, and the Orange have the football.
Jalen Smith makes a great play, great catch, but sometimes when you try to do too much there and you have all those defenders coming after you there, you got to secure the football. Very costly as they were starting to get into that red zone there and be able to get the Orange back the ball.
So with 10:16 to go, it's the third turnover of the game for Louisville. Syracuse has the ball when we come back. Viewer, and we appreciate all of you joining us this afternoon here on the ACC Network. Our First and 10 line is brought to you by YP.com. The even more powerful Yellow Pages. One app, one site. YP can do that. Dungy cuts it upfield, lost the football, it's loose, picked up, James Burgess goes the other way, Burgess inside the 20, he lost the football, but it goes out of bounds.
James Burgess, what a play. Being aware and not just falling on the football for the fumble recovery, but scooping and scoring, almost makes it to the end zone there. But before that, I think it was Trevon Young being able to sack the quarterback, being able to strip that ball out, but it shows the athletic ability of James Burgess being able to almost get it into the end zone. Not used to carrying the football, though, but nevertheless has a lot of speed.
Got his first fumble recovery of the season, lost it out of bounds, but right at the 11, and now they'll spot it officially at the 12-yard line. Louisville with a chance to slam that door right now inside the red zone on the return by Burgess and the fumble by Dungy. Bolin still has it to the end zone, wide open, and a touchdown. Keith Tobridge.
Great job, play action up front, selling it up front with the defensive line, with the offensive line, sucking those guys in for the run, and right behind them in the corner of the end zone is the tight end, Keith Tobridge, there for the touchdown.
His first career TD grab, the third TD toss of the game for Kyle Bolin.
And all of them went to tight ends, all three touchdowns.
So Dungy trying to make a play. Had it knocked away from behind by Fields. And then the TD pass into the end zone. Tobridge hauls it in for the Cards. And you know, with the effectiveness of the running game for Louisville, that just set up the play action, and Tobridge wide open to the corner of the end zone for his first career TD run. In fact, the Orange were up 10-7 in the second quarter in the final game of the regular season last year in a win against Kentucky. Intercepted. Young down the sideline, and Young stepped out at the 6. Trayvon Young.
The second time that a defensive lineman has dropped in coverage on the blitz there, the offensive right side there, and the quarterback does not see it. You see Trayvon Young right there in the middle there, and he's just rolling out to his defensive left there, and the quarterback never sees him, especially for a young quarterback. And the defensive coordinator, Tony Gratham, talked about being able to come up big, and we're going to come back to you right after this break. Great job getting the ball, turning it over, and making the most out of it.
This is Lamb wrapped around the ankles by Antoine Cordy. 5th game this season that Louisville has had 2 or more interceptions in a game. We go back to last week against Wake Forest. Now that was a close one, 20-19, but they had 4 interceptions in that game and 5 total forced turnovers after trailing 10-0 in the first quarter against Wake last week.
Yeah, when you win the turnover battle, the chances of you winning the game goes way up. And this defense, again, they have been after turning the ball.
Corbin Lamb getting into the act, but hold on. A penalty marker thrown behind the play at the 10-yard line. And now Lamb realizing the situation.
Yeah, this
holding offense number 80. It's a 10-yard penalty. Second down.
Charles Stanberry.
Yeah, right here again, number 80, trying to block Zaire Franklin. When you get a hold of the jersey and they see that jersey tug, they're going to call that every time. And Lamb has the touchdown call back, the senior specialist. He's the last guy that was a part of that Teddy Bridgewater group back with Charlie Strong there from Miami.
Inside the 10. L.J. Scott. Perhaps the one negative today for Louisville. 8 penalties and 80 yards for Coach Petrino's team. He's got a 100-yard rusher in Brandon Radcliffe, 117 in the game. Petrino 26-5 when he gets a 100-yard rusher. That record might get a little bit better when the day is done here. From the 9, 3rd and goal. Boland's pass appeared to be deflected. Wallace already has a field goal in the 3rd from 19 yards away. This from 27, and he's got it. 41, 44-10 now. We'll be back after a word from your local ACC station. Lineman of the week in the ACC. Safety valve pass to George Morris II, and he gets hit by a swarm of red. Tremaine Washington in there, number 22. ACC championship game to be contested, Bank of America Stadium, December 5th. Charlotte, North Carolina, and Dungy gets sacked. Tremaine Washington.
Jermaine Washington comes here on the blitz here. Comes outside to the inside, and there's no one there to stop him. And great play there on the blitz.
Carter deep. At the 41, he lost it, misplayed it. And Syracuse falls on it. So the Orange will get it back. Ben Lewis, number 84, in the cover with 5:45 to go. Carter, a couple of quick looks down and may have lost. As for the Orange, they will drop their 6th in a row. They're now 3-6 and 1-4 in conference play. Here the sideline, and that'll stop the clock. 17 seconds to go. L.J. Scott. He's been part of a great running attack. Him, Brandon Ratcliffe has gone over 100 yards. In fact, he's the first 100-yard rusher as a running back this season for the Louisville Cardinals. Jeremy Smith into the act also. He's got a 4-yard TD run. Kyle Bolin, 24 of 35, 362 yards, a season high, 3 touchdowns. Ratcliffe went for 117 yards. And how about Cole Hicatini? 3 catches, 28 yards, 2 TDs, the first 2 of his career. Ratcliffe on what should be the final play of the game, and that will be the final score, 41-17. For highlights and must-see moments from this game and others, check out theACC.com. Join us for the ACC Blitz, powered by Ram Trucks, next Saturday at noon, followed by the ACC Network game, which will be selected tomorrow. So check theACC.com tomorrow for our game selection. You have been watching coverage of Atlantic Coast Conference football on the